Mr. Miller. And we'll now hear from Mr. Posey, Florida.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, during, I believe it was this committee's last meeting, we heard breaking news that said Fannie and Freddie executives received millions of dollars in bonuses, all the while this meltdown was continuing. And I just wondered if you had any part in signing off on those bonuses when the FHFA met on December 24th of 2009.
FHFA, as you said appropriately, is responsible as conservatorship for approving the compensation package of these executives. They reached that decision in consultation with Ken Feinberg, who I appointed to help establish stronger compensation standards across other institutions that were beneficiaries of the TARP.
Is that a yes or no?
Was made by the
Is that a yes or no? Do you have any hand in that?
I was not involved. It was the judgment made
that's
by
all I need. That's all I need. I don't have much time, so I'm going to ask my questions, and if you don't have time to answer them, I'm going to ask, with the chairman's permission, that you respond in writing. Seems like every time I ask somebody a question here, if I ask them what time it is, they start describing a clock, and we never get an answer. So I'm wondering why we're never able to get an answer from you on a comprehensive recovery plan. I mean, we have testimony, we hear the same old rehashing of what
or the
went wrong,
GSEs,
but we never have any, real plan, comprehensive plan for recovery. Number three, obviously I wonder how much longer we're going to have to wait for a plan, what information anybody could possibly still be waiting for to come forth with the plan. You know, clearly the administration has some serious credibility problems. They broke promises on space. They broke promises not to raise taxes, not to take over personal sovereignty. You know the stimulus is failed to do what you said it would do. You said
I don't agree with that.
If the stimulus is passed, your words, it would not exceed 8% unemployment.
No, that's not
now
true.
over 10%.
That's not true, Congressman.
It's your chart, not mine. You know, there are so many fair and legitimate questions that we just can't get answered. When will Freddie and Fannie Mae's conservatorship end? I mean, I think there ought to be a legitimate estimate on that. I think professional ought to say, with your experience and guidance, I think this is the day. This ought to be the target. And this is how we're going to go there. I don't think they're out of bounds at all. And I'm curious about to what extent, number five, our creditors, China, are worried about the failures of Fannie and Freddie. And of course, I think it's been asked before, how do we prevent too big to fail Freddie and Fannie going forward? I mean, these are questions Congress has to know, and we can't wait forever to find out.
You won't have to wait forever. And again, we're starting today the necessary process of figuring out what Congress and the executive branch would like to do to reform the housing finance system. But as you know, this is an enormously complicated question. We need to do it carefully, but we're beginning that process now, and we look forward to working with you on how to fix what's broken in the system.
But what about the last year? What did they do?
I mean, what did who do?
Well,
I mean, Congressman, if you worry we've been idle, I will just point out that we inherited the worst financial crisis in 75 years since the Great Depression. We have been
who inherited it? Who inherited it?
This administration did, and this Congress did.
This Congress has been run by the same majority for 3 years. I'm sick and tired of hearing we inherited.
Congressman,
let's look forward. We're looking
to look
for you
forward.
for answers.
If you want, I'm happy to look forward. We will work with you on how to reform the GSEs and our very damaged housing market. Look forward to doing it.
But no answers.
Congressman, again, we have laid out a comprehensive, detailed set of objectives and principles. We laid out a comprehensive diagnosis of what was broken and what caused this housing crisis. And that is a good foundation on which to build and thinking about reforms. If we don't agree on what was broken, we can't begin the process. And we're going to go through a process with this committee to consult with people in the private sector, in the academic community, among Republicans and Democrats. We'll look at alternative models, and we'll figure out the best way forward.
So the reality is we still don't have a plan.
Congressman, again, you're asking us to design in the midst of, again, the worst financial crisis in generations.
Listen,
Comprehensive
every
reform.
business in this country is suffering right now, and they're working on some kind of a plan for recovery. They're not doing it on a crisis
And we're working hard too, Congressman. We've been working hard too, and we've done extraordinary things. And this economy is growing. And if you just want to go back, you say you don't want to go back to history, but when we came into office, when this Congress came into office, the economy was shrinking at a rate of 6% a year, and 750,000 Americans were losing their jobs every month. And today, because we actually acted as a country, the economy is now growing. Things are dramatically better today than when we took office 15 months ago because of the actions we took. And this House of Representatives has passed the most sweeping set of financial reforms contemplated since the Great Depression. We're on the verge of enacting those kind of reforms. And today, fortunately, we have the chance to begin the conversation about how we're going to reform the GSEs. And again, we look forward to working with you, look forward to seeing ideas. I suspect you guys will have some ideas on your side of the aisle, and we'll take the best ideas on both sides, and we'll propose something that we think will meet the test of reform.
Yeah.